Recent images show Venezuela's Su-30 Mk-2 fighter jets carrying Russian-made Kh-31 supersonic anti-ship missiles during patrol missions, an appearance that immediately set off alarms in Washington. These aren't routine payloads. The Kh-31, known to NATO as the AS-17 Krypton, is a fast, sea-skimming missile built to break through modern naval defenses. The question is no longer whether Venezuela has the capability, but how this capability might reshape U.S. operations in the Caribbean and the Western Atlantic. The current flare-up began after the War Zone published an analysis revealing that Venezuela's Air Force recently flew maritime patrol sorties with Su-30 Mk-2 jets armed with Kh-31A missiles. Photos showed the weapons mounted beneath the wings, an unmistakable sign that the aircraft were not merely exercising but signaling readiness. According to Airspace Review, these patrols were conducted in direct response to increased U.S. naval activity in nearby waters. American ships have been running freedom of navigation operations near Venezuelan territory, actions Caracas publicly labels as provocative. Venezuela's defense ministry confirmed that Su-30s were deployed to safeguard national sovereignty, and stated that patrols will continue as long as foreign warships operate near its coasts. Washington has taken notice. Reporting from military cited unnamed U.S. defense officials expressing serious concern over the presence of the Kh-31 in Venezuelan hands, calling the weapon a potential destabilizing factor in an already sensitive region. A separate investigation by Military.com warned that any encounter between U.S. warships and Venezuelan jets carrying supersonic anti-ship missiles could escalate rapidly into a dangerous standoff. For Venezuela, the display serves both symbolic and strategic purposes. Years of sanctions and economic isolation have weakened its armed forces, but Russian support has allowed Caracas to maintain pockets of advanced capability. Showing off the Kh-31 is a way of reminding regional powers that Venezuela still possesses significant firepower and intends to defend its maritime boundaries. The appearance of Russian missiles in Venezuela didn't emerge out of nowhere. It's part of a long, deepening partnership between Caracas and Moscow. Since the early 2000s, Russia has sold billions of dollars in military equipment to Venezuela: Su-30 Mk-2 fighters, S-300 air defense systems, armored vehicles, and more. Joint exercises, intelligence collaborations, and periodic deployments of Russian advisors have helped keep the partnership active. But in recent months, analysts say the relationship has taken on a sharper edge. Reports suggest Russia is exploring options to position more advanced missile systems in Venezuela, possibly coastal defense batteries or even long-range strike capabilities. Strategists view this as a potential counterweight to U.S. influence in the region, mirroring NATO's forward presence near Russia's borders. From Moscow's perspective, Venezuela occupies strategically valuable geography, close to U.S. naval routes, with access to both the Atlantic and Caribbean. In an era where great power competition increasingly resembles a modernized echo of the Cold War, Venezuela offers Russia an outpost in the Western Hemisphere. For President Nicolas Maduro, welcoming Russian systems is about more than defense. It bolsters political survival. Each delivery of Russian hardware sends a message that Caracas is not isolated, and that any threat against it could draw Moscow further into regional affairs. The deployment of the Kh-31 is not merely a tactical upgrade. It's a geopolitical signal. Russian involvement in Venezuela is no longer symbolic, it is operational. To understand why the Kh-31 has caused such concern in Washington, it helps to look at what the missile can do. The Kh-31A is a supersonic anti-ship missile capable of reaching speeds up to Mach 3.5. It has a range of more than 100 kilometers and flies at extremely low altitude over the ocean to avoid radar detection. After launch, it uses active radar guidance, allowing it to adjust course mid-flight and counter electronic jamming or decoy systems. Its speed and sea-skimming profile make it difficult even for advanced systems like the U.S. Navy's Aegis Combat Suite to intercept. The missile's kinetic impact alone is destructive. Combined with its warhead, it presents a formidable threat to surface vessels. Venezuela's Su-30 Mk-2 is a highly suitable launch platform. Its radar, range, and payload capacity give the aircraft enough reach to challenge U.S. warships even far from Venezuelan shores. Regular patrols with such weapons could effectively create a high-risk operational bubble around Venezuelan waters. Strategically, this is a low-cost way for Russia and Venezuela to complicate U.S. naval dominance in the region. By equipping an ally with high-end tools, Russia extends its deterrence posture thousands of kilometers beyond its borders. But this also raises the stakes. A routine reconnaissance flight or misinterpreted maneuver could now trigger a crisis more quickly than before. The broader significance is clear: modern strategic competition is no longer confined to Europe or Asia. New flashpoints are emerging in places once considered calm. The Caribbean, long associated with post-Cold War stability, is re-emerging as a zone for power projection and military signaling. For now, the United States has not announced any specific countermeasures, though officials say they are closely monitoring Venezuelan aerial activity. Washington's goal appears to be maintaining freedom of navigation without provoking direct confrontation. Meanwhile, Moscow and Caracas continue to signal that their partnership is both active and capable. That's the current landscape, an evolving mix of military capability, geopolitical messaging, and strategic brinkmanship that has once again put the Caribbean Sea in the global spotlight.